Here's some of my recent videos. The one I'm going to obviously be focused on today is Atheist School, but I want to ask you to watch this video, Word of Knowledge and Bible Reading. Now that might not sound very exciting to you, but it's going to be really challenging to you if you don't believe in God, and even if you do believe in God. And here's another one. Can you believe this miracle? I bet you can't. There's a challenge for you. Please have a look at those two videos. But for now, I'm just going to have a look at the comments on the Atheist School video. Now, I hadn't intended responding to any of the comments. I knew they'd been largely negative. Doesn't really matter. But there's some good points in there. So let's just go through them kind of one at a time. End the Disease says that Atheist School would be awesome. There'd be no self-hatred for the human condition. Stephen Fry was on television recently. Stephen Fry is a British comedian who evangelises alongside Richard Dawkins for atheism, and he was talking about his depression. I think it was depression anyway, which he suffers from. And in this documentary he said, "I hate myself. I hate myself." He has self-hatred and he is an advocate for atheism. So this is really not a very good comment, really, to be honest with you. I was actually just chatting to an atheist YouTuber about a week ago who was depressed, almost suicidal. So so there is self-hatred for the human condition in atheism. Here's another commenter, Josh, someone or other, and I really like this comment. This is just kind of funny, really. It took me a couple of reads to see where it's coming from. I just really like that. It's got a similar sort of sense of humour to me. It's quite good, very witty. This is also a good comment. I like this. An atheist praising the work of God, and that's what Richard Dawkins, of course, does, isn't it? And this final comment, which obviously I suppose was to be in the first comment, Godless Messiah telling me I'm a big idiot. If I live in England and seem to think most schools are anything but secular and atheistic already. Well, I already realised that. I mean, the education system is very heavily slanted towards atheism. Even non-believing teachers have to teach evolution, and from what young people tell me, largely speaking, they don't know what they're talking about. Shared ignorance is not educating. God's Messiah goes on to say that religion has no place in the science class. Well, that may depend on which science you're talking about. I mean, for example, mathematically speaking, there isn't any chance at all that life started without a creator. Or another science, quantum physics, has a theory that the universe is a miracle. And it's actually through that theory that, in part, that I became a Christian. Dr. Francis Collins is the former director of the Human Genome Project, and he would have to disagree with you, Godless Messiah. He also disagrees with Richard Dawkins, and is a very sharp critic of him also. It's an utter and total fallacy that science is opposed to faith. But the main issue here really is about the children. What about them? School isn't merely there to teach children one very narrow interpretation of theoretical science. We adults should encourage free thinking, freedom of expression, creativity. That's what school is in part to do. And children will sway about from one belief to another when they're young. They may one day believe there is a God, another day that there isn't, and another day they may believe in aliens, which Richard Dawkins, of course, would be quite happy with. Other times they may believe in the devil and ghosts and so on. I remember all this from the school playground when I was a child. But it's clear from the profile of Dawkins that any other opinion than his would be crushed. And what if the children's beliefs couldn't be controlled? What then? What if Atheist School tries to get children to confess atheism, as it were, and they refuse? Would they face additional reconditioning, brainwashing effectively, discipline, ostracising, suspension, work being marked down, being ridiculed? What if a child of atheist parents in the atheist school became a Christian or a believer in some other faith. Now seriously, I would be very concerned for that child's well-being. It doesn't take a genius to see that they would be suffering intense psychological harm at best. It doesn't take genius to see this. It takes a parent. No wonder Michael Gove said, "I wouldn't send my children there."